How are you?
Oh, you're there.
How are you, mate? I'm here.
Shit.
I'm on my iPad, but I'm here.
I say you look a lot more vertical than normal.
Yeah, how about I do that? It's a little bit more horizontal.
That wasn't a joke about you being drunk. That was like you're on a phone or something.
What's going on, man?
I'm busy. I bought two businesses this week. I'm actually doing work. There's a lot going on.
Holy shit, man! I hope you're managing that's not too stressful.
I'm just happy. It's just so fucking good to be working on something.
What businesses have you bought?
Well, I bought a little hosting company, so I spent most of the week learning how to manage all of that again, which has been super fun. I haven't done it in like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I bought another one, which I can't talk about yet because it doesn't settle until tomorrow, and that's a fair bit bigger. So
okay.
Yeah, last week the employees of the business didn't even know about it, and it's still not settled until tomorrow, so I won't talk about it until it's settled.
Okay. Hosting company, you mean web hosting company?
Yeah.
There's a lot of big businesses that do that shit. What is there a bit of you're hitting a particular niche or something like that?
No, it's just a small little thing I can just work on as my own thing. I can, like help people with their websites. It'll tie in well with my WordPress stuff.
Yeah.
It's a small business. It does like enough to kind of pay for rent. It's small.
Is there a data center?
I haven't been a data center
in a long time.
What's that?
Is there a data center?
Yeah, I've got it's got like 4 or 5 servers, couple of his own sites. He's got about 80 or 90 customer sites, just like small business people.
Yeah.
Offers domain names. It's just basic kind of stuff, and it's stuff I know, and it's just like a fallback for me. And it should tie in pretty well with there's already leads coming through for WordPress stuff that I can do. It's just like it's something to do, pretty much.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
And something that'll pay the rent. And then the other business I'm not going to draw a wage from. I'm just going to work in it and hopefully improve it and just be the owner as opposed to kind of like a particular position.
Yes, as being in the business, working on the business, not in the business.
Yeah, well, I'll still be working in there, but I don't really know yet. I mean, it's all happening now, so I don't really know yet what I'm really in for. It's going to be an interesting couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
I'll tell you more next week, I think.
Keep us posted. Yeah, absolutely.
Have you got a beer?
Fuck no. I'm sitting in my hotel room and it's, 11 o'clock in the morning and no beer yet. So.
I do. Hang on, wait up.
What have you got? Oh, hard solo.
Get a screen grab
of that.
Like? Get a screen grab of that.
I can't do screen grab. I'm on my iPad. I don't know how to do it.
How do you do it?
Do you do it? I think you hold the power button and the select button or something.
Volume and power. If you hold
volume up and power.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Hang on. That didn't work, did it? You're probably going to reset your iPad.
I don't know how to do it.
Right. All good. I'm gonna just oh wait. Whoa. That
Don't spill hard solo on your laptop.
What I'm gonna do I'll just do this. This is like, oh, there we go.
Do a selfie.
Yes, it's selfie. Hang on. Oh no, now it's backwards. Oh well.
Flip it later. You're right. Anyway, what's it like? Oh, you haven't even opened it yet.
Dude, I've actually had this before.
Oh.
I'm a super fan.
Oh shit, really? Is it that good? Is it sugar or is it no sugar? I hope it's no sugar.
I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
How many standos?
1.3. It's got a very clear 18 plus on the very front of the can. I don't know if you can see that. See that?
Yes, I can see that.
18 plus, loud and clear.
And it says alcoholic.
Water, neutral spirit, sugar, reconstituted lemon juice, 2.5%, natural flavor, food acids, preservative, Carthamus extract. Fuck, I'm getting old, dude. I can't read that shit. It's fucking so good.
Yeah, right. Fuck. I'll have to try it when I get back.
It literally just tastes exactly like solo. Like I don't drink solo and haven't for many years, but it just tastes exactly like what I remember solo tastes like.
And just gives you a buzz.
A little. And it's 4.5%.
Yeah, because if you smash fucking 10 of those, then you are going to be on your way.
Exactly. And it's
Big
fun
time.
for the whole family because my kids drink this shit and they love it. It's fucking awesome.
You give your kids hard solo?
I'm just kidding. We'll get to that. That's one of the news items. What's happening in Africa?
There's some wowzers out there with it, eh?
Yeah. What's happening in Africa?
Fucked. I mean, look, oh man, it's been amazing. Hey, I've been hosted by Wendy and Julian from the South Australian Craft Brewers Association, and it's been a lot of fun. It's just been so many activities. It's been really cool. I've been to the Heineken Sedabeng Brewery, just on the I think it's northeast of Johannesburg, and it could be the south. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. I've got no idea where I am or where I go. Anyway, it's the biggest brewery on the African continent, and it was fucking huge, I tell you.
How big?
So they have 3 brew houses that are 500 hectolitres each.
Nice.
And they smash out 12 brews a day. And then you go into the fermentation cellar. So we walked into the fermentation cellar, big, tall vertical tanks. There's 4 big horizontal sausage tank sort of things. And I said, oh, how big are those? And they said, oh, they're 5,000 hectolitres each. So add 2 zeros on, and that's how many litres there is. So 500,000 litres each.
5. Okay. Yeah. Wait.
500,000 litres.
The ones that stone and water 80,000, right?
No, they're 400 and 800 hectolitres. So you're 40,000 and 80,000. So these are like 10 times the size.
It's insane.
Yeah. Okay.
And these are stainless, right?
Yeah.
Outside.
Stainless steel tank. No, inside. They've got a big fucking inside, right? So here's the thing, right? So we're in there, and he was talking about the process on how they ferment Heineken to get esters right, which I won't sort of go into here because there's a little bit of intellectual property and that sort of thing. And I was looking at the fermenters. So the fermenters, the cylindrical conical fermenters are, I think they were 15 or 16 meters high and 7 meters diameter.
16. How many? That's like 6 stories high.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, easily.
Fuck.
Easily. And I said, so we're in the cellar. We went up to a couple of the tanks, that sort of thing. And I said, how many fermentation vessels have you got? And he says, 83.
Of all that's the same size?
Same size.
Jesus Christ. How in this one shed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How big is the shed?
We didn't walk down it. It was just like, so if you take sort of 500,000 times 83, that's how many litres of fermentation capacity they've got.
Damn.
Like, that's just
shed? It's like a football field or something. I suppose if it's only 80 tanks, it's probably not the crazy huge.
Let me just do the numbers here. So 500 times 83 is 41.5 million litres of fermentation capacity.
Jesus. That's insane. How much Heineken comes out of it compared to elsewhere?
Compared to the other Heineken breweries? Oh, it's bigger than the Netherlands and that sort of thing, I would say.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know. It's just the biggest on the African continent, biggest brewery on the African continent. Like driving into the place, right? We literally drove for about 3 or 4 minutes, like half a kilometre easily. And as we were driving in, there's pallets of glass bottles and kegs and crates and all that sort of stuff. You're just driving through packaging.
Fucking hell.
And it's all sitting outside. The size of the place is just phenomenal, right? Absolutely phenomenal. And they were so good. They just said, yeah, take photos of anything you want. You know, can I post on social media? Yeah, no worries. You know, it's all good. So hopefully the stories are still there on Rockstar Brewer Instagram if you're not following.
They won't be still on, I don't think. I saw them, but I don't think they'll be still there now.
they might be gone now and that sort of thing. It's 24 hours, but yeah, holy moly, just phenomenal. The size of the place and getting to drink.
Yeah, they're gone.
High gravity. Getting to drink high gravity Heineken out of the tank was pretty good. And like they had all the bulk malt receival area as well, which I was pretty enamored by, because they had one bulk malt receival for their base malt, one bulk malt receival for their roast malt, because they do it for color correction and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And they receival for Wyman Carahel, which I'm a massive fan of. And I'm like, yes. And so they just get in containers and containers of this stuff. It's just phenomenal. Right. And so, I think they have some ridiculous amount. Their 3-week supply, I think it's something like 800 ton or something like that. It's just like, this. What's the silo at Black Hops? It's about 25-30 ton or something like that.
Can't remember.
If I remember correctly, it's going to be something like that. And so imagine like 20 of those, it's just, the size is just mind blowing. And then, getting to drink Heineken and Amstel and, Windhoek and that sort of thing out of the tank. It's pretty good. Cool. And so at this conference, hanging out with some pretty cool people, some of the other speakers of this conference. So there's Gordon Strong, who, if you don't know who Gordon Strong is, he's like a very well known in the homebrew scene. And he's the guy who invented BJCP and wrote all the BJCP style guidelines and that sort of thing. He's like the BJCP guy. Very well-renowned beer judge and stuff like that. Gordon and I have just been having a great time because we're aligned so deeply on beer and beer judging and all that sort of stuff. And
did you know him before going there?
Never met him. No.
Oh, that's cool.
Never met him. Yeah, and then there's Pete Brown, who's very well-known beer author. So he wrote, 1001 beers you have to try before you die, or something like that. 3 Sheets to the Wind. Very, very well accomplished beer writer and that sort of thing. And he's a bloody legend as well. And then there's a couple of guys from Charles Fareham Hops out of the UK. And then Mazen.
Oh, nice.
So Mazen, to be fair, it was Mazen who got me into this gig and that sort of thing. So super grateful for him. And Mazen, Mazen and I, when we catch up, we just talk shit to each other, and it's been absolutely amazing. So doing the Heineken brewery, been to a couple of the local breweries and that sort of thing. Went on a safari park. It's kind of like more like a zoo than a safari park. So we went to this animal zoo kind of thing yesterday. Got driven around in a ute with a cage, and there's lions and wild dogs and cheetahs and
that's cool.
Giraffes and all that sort of stuff, which was ostriches, all that sort of thing. It was pretty cool. What else was there? Oh man, it's so cheap here.
Yeah.
It's so cheap. It's like a bottle of beer. You get a quart of Heineken. It's a 660ml bottle of Heineken, which apparently is the freshest way to drink it because they turn them over so fast.
Right.
And it's about, I think it's about 13 or 14 rand. So it's 12 rand to the Aussie dollar at the moment. It's like $1.
What?
For a beer. Yeah. In the supermarket.
$5 for hard solo.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And so I went to we're staying sort of at the casino complex here, and went into the bar and eating and drinking sort of food courts kind of thing with lots of restaurants. Went in, they had a Hooters in there, so I went in the Hooters for a beer.
Hooters is such a strange idea. I still don't understand.
It's a weird idea, but normally I wouldn't go, but it's like it was the only thing that kind of represented a pub, and I just felt like sitting at the bar and having a beer. And so I got a pint of Heineken and a double Jack Daniels and Coke, and it was $12.
Why is it so cheap there? They don't have excise. Is other stuff cheap or just beer? Like,
everything's cheap. Yesterday morning we got up and about, and we went to like a supermarket and just had a walk through the supermarket. It's so cheap. Like, it's pretty much all the same brands you can get at home. but like that Castello cheese, like a brie cheese and that sort of thing. Same brand, same brie cheese, a brie camembert cheese, that sort of thing. Normally you pay $8 for it. It's like $3. It's like less than half price. Man, I could jump on a fucking plane, fly over here, do my grocery shop, take it home.
How much is
still be better off?
Maybe you have to buy a lot of shit.
A couple of grand.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and like, and the people are so amazing. Wendy and Julian, our hosts, have been just phenomenal. They're just wonderful, wonderful people. South African people are amazing. Like I kind of got a lot of things wrong. I know I said last week I was just shocked. It's not that bad, There's parts of Johannesburg that might be a bit sketchy and that sort of thing, but everywhere we've been so far has been amazing. The people have been phenomenal. It's pretty safe here and that sort of thing. And
you're here.
I'm
you're living proof.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still here. I haven't made it all the way through yet, so don't count your chickens before they hatch.
True.
But it's been really good. Oh, and the other thing is so if you talk about like the craft beer scene here, it's almost like what Australia was maybe 10 years ago.
Okay.
Right. And so where the breweries were kind of in their relative infancy and the beers were, a bit rough around the edges. The beers are okay. They're not like all infected or anything like that. They just sort of lack that finesse. Yeah. And and the breweries are all really, they're just thrown up anywhere. They're just putting chuck a brewery in anywhere. Obviously, they don't have any issues around town planning and DAs and all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
And they're usually all pretty small, but they have lots and lots of tanks, right? So the variety of these breweries is pretty phenomenal, So you can sort of you get a lot of different beers on tap at any one brewery, which is pretty interesting. And the other thing that they do as well is the breweries can sell spirits, right? Yeah. And so what they often do is if there's a beer festival or something, the brewery will often have something that's sort of representative of an RTD. So they'll have like a gin and tonic or something like that on tap. And so what they do is they go buy something like that. And they go buy shitloads of bottles of gin and a shitload of bottles of fucking tonic. They'll clean a keg, they'll degas it, take the spear out, and they'll pour spirits and soft drink into a keg to make RTD, recarbonate it, and they'll pour that at a beer festival.
Not the cheapest way to do it, but works.
No, it's cheap as shit.
For the spirit.
No, it's cheap as shit because like a bottle of what was a bottle of Jack Daniels was $21 Australian.
Yeah, right.
I think
I'm old enough to remember Bundy rum being $20, but I don't think Jack Daniels was ever $20 in my drinking lifetime.
I remember like when I first got blackout drunk when I was a teenager was blackjack bourbon, and that was $19.99 a bottle.
Yeah, you used to be able to get a bottle for under 20 of some dirty shit like Bat 69 shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. So and last night we went over to the casino complex, the steak restaurant over there. I had a fucking 600-gram prime rib dry aged steak.
Nice.
And it was $22.
Jesus. Did you finish it? That's a pretty decent sized steak.
I gave it a red hot go.
That's a no. Okay.
And they've got a style of wine here, red wine here, called Pinotage, and it's delicious. And it went well with the steak. And I'm going to bring some Pinotage home because I can't find anywhere in Australia to buy it. It's delicious. So
yeah,
that's what I'm going to be bringing home.
That's awesome. So what else is on the agenda? How much longer are you there for?
So basically, we're off to some breweries shortly. And then Mazen's brought a whole bunch of his barrel-aged beers over. We're having a barrel-aged beer tasting session this evening.
Oh, nice.
Which will be really good. I'm looking forward to that. He's brought some really good shit. He's brought his 2016 bourbon barrel-aged barley wine, nice. Like one of his first ones. And so that's today. Tomorrow we're going out to Soweto, one of the townships. We're and going to check that out and do the big red bus tour or something like that. And then Saturday's the conference. So I've got two talks on during the day there. Sunday's like a family day where they sort of get, it's a family-friendly day. You have some, homebrewers and all that sort of stuff. And I've got to give a talk there on 5 things to do to level up your home brewing game.
Is at the conference?
And yeah, it's kind of part of it, really. It's like the day after the conference. The conference is only a 1-day thing.
Yeah.
And then Monday, we're heading up to a national park or private national park. And so we're going to do 3 days, 2 nights out in the bush.
Oh, wow. I had no idea
AI is here.
that long.
Yeah, so I think I fly out on Wednesday.
We just got joined by AI. Did you do that?
Yeah, I just let it in.
Okay.
It's on the schedule. So.
Dude, every single time we do a podcast, I contact them and I'm like, stop letting this fucking thing into our meeting. I can't stop it. And I cannot work it out. It's just, it's with us.
Hang out and watch. I don't care.
With us. We can't do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're doing 2 nights, 3 days out in the bush. And then I fly back on the Wednesday. So I'm back on Thursday night late, back into Brisbane.
So who's going out to the whole crew?
The Pinas, yeah. So Mazen flies out on Sunday. Everyone else flies out on Sunday because Gordon's already been out to Kruger National Park and that sort of thing.
Right.
So it's just me and the Pinas and family, and that should be pretty good. And then I'll be back in Brisbane next Friday, Thursday evening, pretty late, and then Friday onwards. Friday getting ready to go to BrewCon, and then Saturday we're coming down to the Gold Coast and we're going to the footy. You and I and PK.
That's awesome.
We got your ticket, so you're all good.
Thank you.
I think they still have those other 3. So if you want the boys or the missus or something to come along,
okay,
just reach out to PK or Ryan or something like that.
Well, yeah.
And
isn't it?
and then BrewCon. Oh,
right.
But I have to go back to Brisbane like the following Monday on the 21st because Adam Shell's getting married.
Which one?
The other one.
The other one?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's getting married on Monday. So I'm driving back to Brisbane from the Gold Coast, going to the wedding, and then back down the Gold Coast to bump in for BrewCon, the trade show, and that sort of thing. So
wow, that's crazy.
And then so BrewCon, Indies Wednesday night, back to Brisbane, and then I'm probably going to sleep for a few days.
That is mental.
Yeah. So it's pretty hectic, but I'm having a great time.
That's a hell of a trip to South Africa. That's a fucking trip of a lifetime. That sounds awesome.
Oh, this has been phenomenal. It's just blown me away. You know, my expectations, and I've just been completely blown away. You know, this is it. This is just the shit that I do, and I really enjoy it. You know, so
just living your fucking best life, Hendo. It's good.
Living the best life, you know, and that sort of thing. You know, and it's fun. So, you know, if you want to follow along to the dumb shit that I do, you can follow Sir Hendo on Instagram. If you want to follow the brewing stuff that I do, that's Rockstar Brewer on Instagram, or you can follow Rockstar Brewer Academy on Facebook or YouTube or something like that. Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well, how much time we got to get through the news? There's quite a bit, but I don't think we're limited, aren't we, with time?
Yeah, I've got about maybe 20 minutes or so.
All right.
I can't see the bloody. I'll try and see if I can see it on the other screen here.
Oh, you can't see the news articles?
No. I should be able to see it on my laptop here. I didn't want to get my laptop on as the internet here is fucking weird. Hey, so
really? The internet here is pretty fucking weird too.
Yeah. All right, go for it. I can see it.
All right. So I actually haven't read any of these either because I kind of thought we weren't doing the podcast, so not super organized. But I've put a bunch of links in here from news items. First one I've got is no dividend to Southern Bay creditors.
That does not surprise me.
No.
I doubt that they would have any money left in the kitty. They would have sold the land and that sort of thing. Someone would have picked up that land pretty cheap, but then the environmental remediation of that land is going to be very expensive. So,
yeah, it's an interesting article. So there's stuff in here about turnover dropped significantly over the last years. Yeah, I mean, nothing surprising really.
Oh, the business was not in a good way, you know. This
is the interesting thing. So, okay, this is where I don't want to fucking go off in this rant again, but I went off on a fucking rant for the tribe thing.
Yes.
This says, in his final report, the liquidator said that following his investigations into the solvency of the company, his assessment was the company was insolvent from at least June 2019.
Yeah.
So is this not the same shit we've been talking about on this show the whole time, which is like, if your company is only surviving because you're not paying your fucking invoices, then you are insolvent and you're trading insolvent, which is illegal to do.
Yes, that is correct.
What's the fucking penalty for this? Like, that's a long time. June
2019. That kind of, if the liquidator is saying something like that, then it's basically it's the liquidator covering his own I believe this company's been trading insolvent, waving a flag and hoping that ASIC come along and prosecute it.
So is that what has to happen? Because this is what I'm confused about. I'm like I don't.
It depends if ASIC choose to prosecute it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to get out of it? They're not going to get any money out of it. They might send someone to jail or fine. Or what are you going to do?
Like,
you're going to find someone
people not to trade an insolvent company. Where's the incentive? Like, why don't you just keep trading forever until you literally just can't fucking?
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
yeah, it's just fucked. I suspect there might be something more to come out of this. You don't know. It depends on how busy ASIC are. You know, you're certainly right. Is that we have to be, or ASIC have to be a little bit more diligent on the enforcement side of things. Otherwise, you're right. It's just a fucking free for all.
Well, because every other business gets fucked over, and all the investors get fucked over because the investors put money in, thinking the directors will act on their behalf and follow the law, which is to not trade a company that's insolvent. And they fucking ignore them, and there's no penalty. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, with the case of Southern Bay, like the owner was the director, so there wasn't any shareholders per se. It was a family-owned business,
right? But that wasn't the case with Tribe, and it's still all.
But not the case with Tribe and that sort of thing. But on the flip side, you know, you have a look at someone like Epic last week, who just got to the point where they were, you know, they sort of went, oh shit, writing's on the wall, time out, let's stop, do the right thing.
Yeah. I mean, you have to see the numbers to work out what decisions are being made when, but I feel like I think there's a fair bit of this going on where it's like, okay, this company's probably not solvent, but let's just hope that we'll fucking get out of it. And I mean, 2019, that's insane. That's a year before COVID. Well, not a year, but that's
that's
in
the 12 months leading up to COVID.
Far out. All right, next three. Hard Solo aims at kids. Fuck yeah, this shit.
Yeah.
News.com story.
I can't wait to try it. I'm a kid at heart.
My kids swear by it.
Good on them.
I don't think my kids
send them to school with one in the fucking lunchbox, mate.
So, all right, there's a News.com article because some fair made a complaint about it, which was not surprising at all. Apparently, this was pre-vetted by ABAC. So,
of course, there's no way that they would release it without it being pre-vetted.
So it's essentially it's a drink that looks exactly like a soft drink from the 90s or whenever it came out. Whenever I was drinking it, and it's got 18 plus on the front. It's got alcohol written pretty clearly. It says alcoholic in capitals. It's black.
Yes.
But essentially it tastes, I mean, the taste is not relevant to ABAC, but it tastes exactly like fucking Solo.
Exactly. But the only thing that's going for that product that the people are, you know, when you fundamentally look at what people who have got their backup over this have their backup over it, is the fact that it uses the Solo brand.
Yes.
That's it. That's all they've got.
Yes. And it's not really good enough reason, is it? Because otherwise, like, what are they supposed to call their product?
That's right. And you know, it's that's they picked a brand that in and of itself isn't necessarily one that appeals to minors. You know, I mean, Solo is a soft drink, yes. Is it marketed at children? You think about the ads around Solo. It's always about men and tradies and slam it down fast and
but do they
being
still
active
do those ads? Like, to me, it's like a throwback thing.
What's
that?
Like
a throwback thing, right? The Solo, like, it's not. Is it still a thing, or?
Well, have a think about the last Solo ad that you saw on television. What was it? What was the content of it?
It's probably paddling down a fucking river or some shit.
Men in fucking exactly. Men in canoes doing canoe things and all that sort of shit. So it wasn't like it was never marketed at kids. I mean, kids drink it, no doubt, but it was never a product that was marketed at kids. And so I think that whatever Schweppes, whoever stands is the company behind this, have done a great job to pick the brand that is least likely to appeal to minors.
Yes. Asahi Premium Beverages.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they own
I don't even know.
They own Schweppes.
Schweppes.
Asahi owns Schweppes.
Yeah. So you reckon? What do you think? Well, first of all, do you think this is okay? And second of all, do you think it'll pass the ABAC test?
I think there's enough very clear indicators that beverage is alcoholic.
Yeah.
It says hard solo, alcoholic lemonade or whatever it says, 18 plus.
18 plus is different. It's also black. There's absolutely nothing about it design-wise that would appeal to children. Yeah.
It's very clear, hard solo. It's done everything. You know, it's waved all the flags. It says, we are an alcoholic drink. We are an alcoholic drink. And there's no design on there that appeals to minors. I think that the complaint will be, what do they call it? Not dismissed. Whatever they
dismissed.
Complaint is upheld.
Yeah. The opposite
Complaint
of
upheld.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, is there an ABAC thing in complaint in or
yes.
something? Probably
from fair.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, who cares?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So, I agree with you. I don't think it'll get through, and nor do I think it should get through. But do you think if it does get blocked by ABAC, do you think they will take it off the market, or do you think they will just go fuck ABAC and just
because Asahi's a signatory to the ABAC code, so yes, right. It will.
So they wouldn't push the limits. They're a big enough company, and they sign off on it and.
Asahi would have absolutely anticipated this reaction to it and would already have a legal team ready to deal with the complaint and work it through the ABAC adjudication process.
Yeah. And
would have a plan in place to say if the complaint was upheld, that we would take it off the market. Yeah. That's it. That's all they would do. They would have a plan in place. They're not stupid. It's a big fucking multinational company, you know.
And the people at ABAC have probably been sitting in the office just like every morning coming in, refreshing their computer going, I wonder when we're going to get the complaint from Fair about the solo.
Yeah. Anyway, good on them.
All right. All right. Sydney Beer Awards. 4 Pines.
Yeah, Japanese lager. How cool is that?
22 medals, 6 gold medals for 4 Pines. That's pretty boss.
Yeah, good on them.
Dude, Sydney Brewery, I swear, have never, ever entered an awards and not won like multiple gold medals.
That Sydney Brewery is amazing, man. They've been consistently good over many, many years. So,
oh, shit. Ben spoke 8 gold medals.
Yeah, awesome.
That's insane.
Very, very cool.
Wow,
very cool.
By far won the most gold medals.
Yeah, look, hey, isn't Japanese lager just a thing now? And Mexican lager is a thing now with breweries.
Oh, the Balta Savita.
Don't you see you see what Asahi are doing right now with their craft portfolio? You've got a Japanese lager, you got an Asahi, Super Dry or Tokyo Ted coming out of an Australian craft, one of their Australian craft breweries, and then you got a Mexican lager to take on Corona coming out of another one. Smart play. It's better than an Aussie wheat.
Well, as soon as Stone and Wood sold, they put out that
Aussie wheat
glass bottle lager thing, didn't they? Well, that's actually before they sold because they tried to sneak it in there.
Yeah.
But, now Balta have got their one, and I don't know, whatever.
Smart.
Yeah.
But congratulations to the winners, that's for sure.
Yeah, fucking 8 gold medals. That's got to be a bloody record, probably. That's a lot. All right. 8 Wide wins at NZ Beer Awards.
Excellent.
That's pretty good. So they're still going, still doing the damn thing.
Stone's still crushing it, making some amazing beer. I think that's bloody fantastic. And they still do good beer. That Wild Feijoa beer is really good. Have you ever had it?
Yes, I think the guys brought one back, and we did one at AWOL because we were kind of like, this is amazing, we need to do it. That's the one that won the champion beer. So there you go.
Yep. Garage Project getting champion large New Zealand brewery. Behemoth getting champion medium New Zealand brewery. And my personal favourite is Shining Peak, champion small New Zealand brewery. So one of my old friends from the craft beer scene, Brendan, who I know from, when I was living in Melbourne and that sort of thing. He moved to New Zealand, and he does the heads up sales and marketing for Shining Peak. It's amazing. They're so yeah, it's really good. Good to see.
Where are they?
Just outside of Auckland.
Okay. I just say everywhere in New Zealand is just outside of Auckland.
This is interesting that they have one of the trophy categories, which is the champion New Zealand manufacturer. So actually having a trophy which recognises the contract brewer.
That's fair.
I think that's a bloody great idea. Imagine if you had, so B Studio won it, which is where most of the Garage Project and Behemoth beers get brewed. And I actually like that, recognising the contract brewing facilities. So basically, if you have a product which is contract brewed, if you sort of specify where it was brewed, and then taking the medal tally out of that and applying that, applying the the median thing or whatever they do, and let's recognise the manufacturers out there. I think this
100%.
is great.
They're making the fucking product.
Exactly, and they in Australia they largely get ignored, and I think that you could, if you applied the median kind of thing to all of the beers that come out of each of their breweries, you can actually give those contract breweries recognition without divulging who their clients are.
Yes, I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, so that should definitely happen here.
I'm having a hop swap, Black Ops Brewing. Probably one of my last low fuel staff beers, because Aaron's not working there anymore. So
what?
Well, it counts. But she's working at Mugu, so we get lots of skincare products. So if I look like 10 years younger, then that's why.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I remember at the ABAs when Mazen won his first award, and he got up and he's like, "Yeah, this is the first one I've won." I was like, "Holy shit, how have you not won any ABAs before?" But it was like they'd won shitloads
for his own product.
Yeah, for other people's beers.
Yes.
So
I'm going to have a chat to him about it when I go see him.
Yes.
Downstairs in about 15 minutes.
Well, wish him all the best from me, and if he's doing well, just give him heaps of shit from me. But if he's not doing well, tell him I'm thinking about him and I'm keen.
Okay, I'm just going to tell him that you said that he was a bastard.
He is a bastard. There's no doubt about that. No, Mazen's good. I think he's doing well. I stay in touch with him a little bit. All right, where are we at? Rocky Ridge, saving all of the fucking CO2. These guys are weapons, aren't they?
Oh my God. Have you been out there?
I haven't been out there. I missed that trip as well. They come and visit us. Actually, the first hop swap we did was with Rocky Ridge, and they came over here though, so we didn't go over there.
These guys are the absolute pioneers of sustainability in the Australian craft beer industry, and are to be admired and respected for what they do. I went out there with PK and Ryan November last year, spent some time, with Hamish and Mel, and just to get an idea of the stuff that they are doing. The fact that they have solar panels on the roof, that's great. But then they've got battery, and they basically collect all the solar and they run the brewery on battery. So it's 100, literally is 100%.
They're not actually connected to the grid.
They do connect to the grid because you kind of have to.
Right.
And then the only thing that they had on site, which was generating CO2, was their steam boiler, which was running on natural gas. But ultimately, what they want to do is they want to take their spent grain and other organic waste and create a biogas reactor and run their boiler on biogas.
Yeah. I think this story is about getting locally certified sustainable malt.
Well, that's so basically there's like there's different tiers as to the sustainability thing. There's like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's phase 3 or phase 4 is when you start to. So there's the emissions that you produce yourself, and then there's the emissions around your inputs and outputs.
Yeah.
Right. And so this thing, sustainable malt, is basically them starting down that journey of working on their supply chain, both upstream and downstream. And that's hard, right? Because you think about that. You imagine having to go through and audit the carbon footprint of your suppliers and your distributors.
They're also kind of in the middle of nowhere where they are too, aren't they? Like that would make it even harder.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you've got all the transport and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, and all those things that like this is they're basically kind of pioneers in that regard, because this is what's going to happen to every business in the future when it comes to CO2 emissions and compliance and traceability and stuff like that. And we don't really have the systems and the frameworks, you know, fully in place to make it easy for every business to be able to do it. But these guys are real trailblazers, and they're starting to go down that path of at least trying something. And I'm an absolute hats off to Hamish and Mel for, you know, putting in the hard work, investing a bucket load of money, and making some fucking amazing beer at the same time.
Oh yeah, they win fucking awards every time
because their beers are phenomenal. You know, and if you're in WA, you are very lucky that you can get your hands on their beers all the time. But the beers they do are just phenomenal. You know,
100% good on them. All right, let me see how we're going. All right, we got a few. You've got like what, 10 minutes left?
Yeah. How many questions have we got?
We've got a few. Let's look at these robot brewers. This was going to be a Hendo Reacts, but I was skipping Hendo Reacts because we're too busy. So,
rightio.
You're familiar with Boston Dynamics, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, they do the robot dogs and the robot people and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. So this wasn't a news story, but this was just there because I follow their Facebook. So they posted the other day of one of their robot like
Treehouse
dogs at Treehouse Brewing Company walking through the fermenters, like some full on black
cool
shit.
Yeah, Nate's a bloody legend, eh? I talked to Nate from Treehouse on YouTube, and if I ever wind up back over in the States, I'll definitely go see him. So yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? Robot brewers. It's fucking it's coming.
What are they doing? Sorry, the internet's a bit slow here. I can see one of those robot dogs walking through the brewery.
Yeah, they don't provide any details.
Oh shit, B69. Yeah, right. What's it do?
They didn't provide any details.
Just walking a robot through a brewery.
Yeah, I'd love to know. What do you think a dog could do in a brewery? Like you have to think not a lot.
What about the humanoid robots that Boston Dynamics do? Lift my fucking grain bags.
I mean, it'd be a safe way to lift kegs. Yeah, grain bags.
Yeah, lift my kegs. Oh, there's good robots that just dedicated to kegs, but go lift my grain bags. Go dry hop.
Well, what about kegs not on the production line? Like kegs that are like
you got to wheel into the cool room.
That kind of thing, or even deliveries, like that kind of shit. Like that would be
shit. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So Brewer's still got the job for a while, or you think the dog's going to replace him?
I think we're okay for the moment.
All right. The last one, the Beer Drinkers Toolkit. There's a book.
Yes.
And you can win it at beerandbrew.com.
Who is that?
Mick Wust?
Yeah, Mick Hospital. Yeah. I've heard really good things about this book.
Nice. Looks cool.
I'm going to tell Pete Brown about it when I see him downstairs in a second, and get him to go and get himself a copy. Because there's just some really good stuff that's that I've heard about this book, and to sort of bring beer to consumers. I think it says here basically how the beer is made, beer styles, food pairings, sensory attributes, how to serve it. I love it. I think it's great.
Nice. We should get a copy of it.
Yeah. I might get it on Amazon. Is it on Amazon? I might get it on. I've got my Kindle here, so
Yeah,
might do that.
We can do readings from it on the podcast, maybe.
Are we allowed to do that? Or are we going to get copyright struck?
Consistently
Again.
with the rest of our shows, you can get copyright struck. All right, we've got a few minutes left. Let's get to the questions.
Yeah, let's do it.
There won't be many because I just posted in like emergency podcast style only a few minutes ago.
That's cool.
All right. Adam Shell, Brucon, does Dan feel like he'll be missing out? I'm not really one for conferences. I like the awards. I probably, I would like to go to the awards. I always like going to the awards, but I don't enjoy conferences, so I don't care about that.
Get a ticket to the Indies then.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see how we go. Maybe.
It's up at the island.
Wednesday night, right?
It's like, Wednesday night, and it's at the island. You could probably walk there from your house.
Oh, fuck, I could too. That is a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. So go get a fucking ticket.
Yeah, fuck, all right. I'll come to the Indies. Then I'm not missing out.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Stuart McGregor. While traveling, I try to do self-driving tours through small towns, and I always ask myself if I could see a small community brew pub working in certain areas. With all the closures going on in what seems to be the more densely populated areas, do you think there are still opportunities in regional and remote towns for new breweries, something like Charlie's Creek in Chinchilla?
Yeah, so Charlie's Creek is Steve Keating, who's one of my former TAFE students. He's one of the TAFE Frostworkies graduates. He's a bloody legend. And Charlie's Creek in Chinchilla is basically, he grows Wagyu beef. He does it sustainably, and he's got a brewery, and then he cooks the meat there.
Yes.
We're going.
Yes, we've talked about it. I'm guessing this guy heard about it on the podcast. Yeah.
So, and it's camping as well, and that sort of thing, right? So it's all the things that I love. And yes, if you've got a unique offering where a brewery happens to be part of it, go for it. I'm actually working with another client up near Emerald who does the mining, emerald mining thing, and cafe and brewery kind of thing. So yeah, it's absolutely. It's there's still a market for it, 100%. And in fact, that's probably where the growth is, to be fair. But I would probably caveat that and say, do your market research, do a good business plan, make sure you're just not building something in a tourist area for the sake of building a brewery in a tourist area. Make sure you've got the ability to get punters through the door and get some bums on seats and some money in the till. You know, it's not a question. It's no longer a question of if we build it, they will come. Do your research.
Yeah. And if you've followed this podcast for a while or followed anything you've written or I've written, be good at finance before you start a brewery.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. All right. Damien Rigby, should sorghum beer in cartons come to Australia?
Yes. So if you were looking at my Instagram from last night, I was drinking the sorghum beer that came in it was like a 1 or 2 liter milk carton.
Nice.
And oh boy, that was an interesting experience. Basically, it looks like banana smoothie. It's 3% alcohol. It has the texture of banana smoothie.
Ooh.
And it's sour. And yes, it was very interesting. I'm actually going to learn, and what I'll do is I'll post on Instagram. I'll post on the Boston Brewer Facebook group as well. Which if you're listening and you're not a member of the Facebook group, it's facebook.com/groups/Boston Brewer. And so I'm actually meeting a lady at the conference on the family day on the Sunday, and she's actually going to make some of that sorghum beer, and she's supposed to be the expert of that style of beer. So she's going to show me how to make that sorghum beer.
Nice.
And so I'll post some photos there and that sort of thing.
Very good. Do you have to
go to
the dentist after you have that beer?
Why is that?
Because you got a sorghum. I'm going to move on to the next question here. So, all right, Bo Curtis, BrewCon/Indies meetup. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Yes.
That's a great
Well,
idea.
the last meetup, you did turn up to the last time. Not many of the 12 turned up. The one before you didn't turn up. So
Yes,
we've got
I
a
turned
bad
up just
record
late.
for these meetups. Very bad record.
Yes, so I'll be working the smart sensory stand at the trade show, and sorry, there's a fucking helicopter flying. I'm right near the airport, so there's a helicopter flying right by my window. There's yes, there is. Come and see me at the smart sensory stand. I'll post something in the Boston Brewer Facebook group, and we'll organise some sort of meetup if that's possible. It's a pretty hectic few days, but we'll give it a red hot go.
Yeah, if we can do it, like if I'm going to come to the Indies, if we can do it before the Indies somehow, that'd be sweet.
Yes,
but that's probably going to be the busiest time for people catching up and whatnot.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any more questions? Because I got to shoot off in a second.
Got to go. That's good. Quick emergency podcast. 1 hour.
It was good. Yeah, from South Africa. This is our first international fucking podcast episode.
It's amazing. You squeezed us in.
We should do it again.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
We should do we could do an in-person one next week. If you got time. That'd be difficult.
Yeah, that may well possibly. Oh no, it depends what day we record. So yeah, we could possibly do it. Let's see what happens.
Because you need microphones and shit. But anyway, that was good. Enjoy the rest of your trip, Hendo. It sounds awesome.
Cheers, mate. Just follow the Instas, that sort of thing. Yeah, cheers, man. See you next week.